which stipulates how a student athlete should be allowed to play in 2 sports during one season so long as they meet certain requirements. If it wasn't already obvious, I've thought through this a lot. And yes, I understand that it's not just as simple as implementing dual sports at Southern Boone. However, I believe that with my policy outline and my contract outline, that dual sports could be implemented as soon as this fall. Here with me today is my mom. She has allowed me to compete for Southern Boone since the 7th grade. She's a tax-paying individual and she supports the idea of dual sports. Also here today is Coach Burns. He has coached at the collegiate level as well as the high school level. Coach Burns, would you please stand up? Coach Burns, is there any reason that dual sports wouldn't be possible?
No, I think the key is, right communication between the coaches and the athletes, having a clearly outlined plan like you do there as far as contract and primary sport, secondary sport. But again, it's also a great opportunity for our student athletes to communicate with their coaches. The key for this to work is great communication, picking a primary sport and a secondary sport, and your priority is the primary sport, right?
Yeah.
And you can do the secondary sport when it fits in to the primary sport schedule. So I think that's the key. So the answer to your question is no, there shouldn't be.
Thank you for your input, Coach. During my time as a Southern Boone Eagle, I have not once been allowed to do more than 1 sport in 1 season. There's really no reason for this. There's also no rule that Misha has against dual sports. I know that myself as well as others would like to participate in 2 sports during 1 season, and I encourage you to look over the policy and contract that I provided in the time that you have. I appreciate your time, and again, thank you for allowing me to be here today.
No, just out of curiosity, what sports are you interested in?
Soccer and cross country, maybe track and golf.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and so Noah spoke today about the dual sports topic, and then I believe that Tracy will be here later this evening and will mention that in his report to the board as well. So,
Next, we'll have approval of the consent agenda, which includes a roll call, updated perpetual calendar, staff handbooks, adopt the student handbooks, A+ program handbook, approve the contract with Southern Boone YMCA, approve the contract with Action Optimist Club, which I'd like to pull off the consent agenda. And then employment, Brianna Eddy, Director of Special Education, Eva Mohan, Middle School Special Education Paraprofessional, Carlene Bayless, High School Social Studies Teacher, Malachi Lentz, Middle School At-Risk Teacher, Sage Finkston, Middle School Science Teacher, Taylor Anderson, High School Special Education Teacher, Kristen Long, Assistant Director of Special Services, Caleb Nichols, Groundkeeper, Richard Sellers, Maintenance. Under resignations, there's Melissa Backus, High School Special Education Teacher, Ashton Meyer, Kindergarten Teacher. Approve the free and reduced lunch price eligibility criteria. Approve the 2023-24 meal prices. And MSBA policy AC, the prohibition against illegal discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. MSBA policy ACA, sexual harassment under Title IX. MSBA C-AF1, curriculum completions provisional, curriculum completion final, and the stipend schedule update. And I would entertain a motion then to approve the consent agenda unless the item under G.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
With the exception of item G.
That is correct.
Okay, any discussion? Not all in favor? Aye. Opposed? So ordered. And we'll take up item G. The approval of the contract with the Action Optimist Club.
I move that we accept the contract with the Ashland Optimist Club. My second motion.
Motion made and seconded then to approve the contract with the Action Optimist Club. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And I abstain. Under minutes. Any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
Motion made and seconded then to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Financial review.
Okay, in the financial review, you're going to find the cash flow summary for the month of June. And for the month of June, Fund 1 and Fund 2 combined remain strong compared to the previous year with approximately $4,975,000, which is an increase of a little over $1 million from the 21-22 school year. Action taken last month by the board will allow us to transfer funds to cover expenses in the teachers' funds to actuals. The balance in Fund 3 for debt service is showing a little over $2,500,000. Our debt tax levy has provided adequate funds to pay down our current bond payments, and future revenue is expected to exceed expenditures in this area. So we will be working with Carol Embry and Joe Kinder to make adjustments as necessary with future tax rate proposals. The capital projects and bond funds in Fund 4 are reflective of our construction projects and funds allocated to the middle school renovation, high school stadium project in Rankin. Our total in Fund 4 is lower than 21 and 22, which we expected due to the expenses incurred by each of the projects and their completion dates. We continue to see Rankin construction expenses as we near the completion of the project and anticipate EDA reimbursements in the next few weeks. Prior to the approval of bills this evening, we are waiting on approximately $657,000 for reimbursement. And in the next report, you'll find the balances for our bank and cash reconciliation statement for June. You'll notice the totals for this report match the cash flow summary report. The check register for the month of June is available for review as well. And you'll be able to see every check that was sent out sorted by vendor for the month online. You will see the accounts payable report as well this month as a searchable Excel sheet and a PDF that's online as well. This report will show you that we pay what we pay in utilities, vendor checks, refunds for items, building supplies, vehicle repairs, what we pay for referees, along with several other items that you find on there. And then lastly, the expense and revenue report has been shared with you as well. The report will show you financial activity for the month of June under the month to date column, along with the year to date activity compared with last year at this time. Overall, we see that revenues, 99% of those were realized and 98% of expenses were realized after budget amendments were made throughout the past school year. So that's the information, the financial update there. I would ask for a motion to approve the accounts payable as presented.
Move to approve the accounts payable as presented. I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded then approve the financial review and accounts payable. Any further discussion or questions? Not all in favor? Aye. Opposed? So ordered.
Can I ask a question that I missed on the, it's an easy one.
Sure.
What is athletic design underneath the stipends? It was one of the ones that was highlighted that's empty, but it's athletic design, and it's a 1% stipend,
Mhm.
but I don't know what it is.
That's a great question. I don't know at the moment, but Trent will be here in a little bit. So
Okay.
ask him. Yep.
Okay, under reports, superintendent report.
So we have just a reminder, July 25th, we are planning for a board work session regarding upcoming tentative bond issues, probably geared towards the high schools where our conversations have been so far with high school administration and staff there. And then also long range planning with documentation and information coming from Chris Davis out of PWA with our architects. Joe Kinder will be here from Stiefel to offer financial guidance there. And then our construction manager representative will be here from Septagon. See him every day.
Jim.
Jim Russell.
Tim Russell, yep, thanks.
Sorry, I had water in my mouth.
Yep, that's okay. I see him every day. What's his name? Yes. Yep. So, lots of exciting news there and conversations that we've had so far to be able to share with the board and then get your input. And then we know that we'll have more public input meetings this fall and in the upcoming months as we look towards a tentative bond issue this April. So, and then also look at our long-range planning options as well and our bonding capacity. So exciting things there going on. Let's see, just want to share some initial reflections on the FY23 budget as we wrap things up. Due to the growth in Fund 1 and Fund 2 relative to expense and revenue budget performance, the fund balance for operating grew by about $489,000 over what we projected. And so results in the fund balance increase 2.47% over the original projected primary general fund expenditures. We were at 12.97%, which gives us a boost from 2.47% up to 15.43%, which is a blessing for all of us. Yep, so that's exciting. An analysis is being conducted regarding areas the budget was not expended or overexpended to identify where revenues were higher or lower. So we'll give you more information over the next few months on that. The analysis does show a $700,000 transfer dating back to FY22 from general to capital. And so that number may need to be increased depending on to the maximum allowed, dependent on new needs for capital projects, capital budgets. Currently, all revenue for Fund 4 is positioned in the regular capital fund. Revenue on bond proceeds should be recoded to the new bond fund code. So we're working on that, setting that new code up so we can tell the difference between what we're spending out of bond funds versus just regular capital funds that we have with our district and with our tax levy. So there was some overspending that occurred in the bond fund relative to the budget. And the motion that the board approved last month set the budget at actual, provides cover for that fund along with the teacher fund that was overspent as well. So otherwise, we're in good shape there. Those are our initial reflections and some things that we'll work on so in the future. Let's see, we've got the construction update. Before I mentioned that, the July 25th on that board work session, we are anticipating some new hires, especially at the middle school, possibly at the primary. So we probably will have an open session right before that for just a few minutes, just to hopefully approve some new hires and get some contracts out to people. I know Mr. Baudouin and his team have some interviews coming up this week. So the sooner, hopefully those will go well. And then the sooner we can get those fine folks under contract and get them here and get them started, set up for the upcoming school year, I think the better off we'll all be to help them be successful. So that addition might be coming in the next week or so. Let's see, under this construction update, Jim Russell was not able to be with us tonight, so I'm going to give you an update from Jim. I also would encourage you to, if you have not recently, it changes day by day. Go past the high school, drive around the back, look at the stadium project, like it's just super impressive. And so I have not been yet today, but I think Trent is there 2 or 3 times a day, just checking up on things and looking at things that are happening. He started his day out there this morning. The substantial completion of the bleachers are done. So he sat this morning. Yeah, he was so excited. He sat this morning on the new bleachers and then watched the scoreboard, which I think that the first panel went up this morning. Yeah. And so after the board meeting, I'm hoping it's still daylight. I myself am planning on going over and taking a look. So yeah, so lots of cool, I know, Bear. It's all on Bear tonight, yes. I'm hoping to go look at that myself. And so I know this weekend there are just lots of things happening at the middle school with wrestling. There were teams on our ball field, softball, baseball field working there. So just lots of cool things happening. It's nice to see our parking lots full with students and kids. So there are luckily no items for action, board action tonight off of construction. So I'm just gonna give you Jim's update. with Rankin Technical College. And so we are getting close to the end of that project as well, and seeing just an amazing building put up that will help our kids at the high school level and then transition into adult education as well. And so we'll take, at some point in time, we will, and I know we're working on doing a walkthrough and a Rankin update for community members, our board in August, and then also planning a discovery day, September 30th at the Rankin at the Rankin Workforce Development Center as well for the public. But over the last couple of weeks, the contractors and subcontractors have installed the restroom epoxy flooring, toilet partitions, restroom fixtures, the large shop lighting, interior doors, cabinets, and casework. Over the next couple of weeks, contractors will install the front office area carpet, the exterior canopies, and operable wall in the nurses' room and computer room. Next week, PWA will conduct the punch list walkthrough as well. I know that Shannon with Rankin and representatives from Columbia College were looking at the nursing area this past week and are looking forward to working with them on different projects and curriculum for our students in the future there. For the track, I'm getting a little far off on the construction piece, but I got to add in my own flavor and information as well as we go. So track and field project, just like I mentioned, lots going on there. And over the last few weeks, the contractors have installed soil stabilization, stormwater piping, fabric, and 1-inch clean rock over the football, the soccer field, the structural steel for the scoreboard, the new north bleacher section, and roughly 50% of the inner concrete curb for the track. So all those things are exciting. It finally rained, so we could test stormwater piping and everything, and things worked out well there. Over the next couple of weeks, the contractors will continue working on the scoreboard, installing underground conduit, sanitary sewer line, and the concrete curb. The track asphalt is scheduled to start the week of July 24th. So actually they were starting possibly working this week on that as well, if things go well. And so again, day by day, things are changing over there and things are really taking shape. So lots of things to be excited about. High school re-roof. This is exciting as well. You can't always see everything that's happening there, but we are working on the gymnasium, the auditorium, and the commons area to have a re-roof completed by July 31st. And right now, Weathercraft is roughly 85% complete. So making good progress. Makes my heart happy to see what's going on there and know that our floors and our roofs and our bleachers will be dry once again and stay dry, and something that we can all be proud of. So happy to report that. Just overall with the budgets, Rankin Technical College this month expenses totaled a little over $511,000. The track and field project this month, we spent a little over $30,000. The high school re-roof budget, a little over $71,000. Just remember that we are planning on making, or we have made an insurance claim on that, and are anticipating once we get that total bill, looking at possibly $167,000 reimbursement for part of that. And then with the middle school addition and renovation, and that really is coming to a close, we spent about $1,400 overall this past month. And we did move, remember a few months back, we decided to move some of that contingency money from the middle school project over to help pay for the high school re-roof. So those are the funds that are being used there this summer for that project.
PM Brooke, or someone post that to the agenda because it wasn't posted.
Sure. Yep. Mhm. Yep, well, you can do that. Let's see. Next on the agenda is the surveying services for the high school edition. And so in anticipation of a future, our next future bond issue, focused on the high school and the additions that will be there, we have a proposal from Crockett Engineering Consultants, basically to look at the north and west sides of the existing building to see what will be done, what would need to be done with a preliminary site for the project, which would include requesting utility locates from the Missouri One Call system, locating storm and sewer structures, investigating any drawings and things that we have on hand of what might be there around that building, looking at the topography of the potential area for construction, looking for steep slopes, stairs, landscaping, tree lines, those types of things that might impact the construction, and then confirming the boundary of the site utilizing surveys, plats, and things like that. We also know that just north of the high school, there is the boundary line between what is inside the city of Ashland and what's in Boone County. And so we'll be getting information on that and what the recommendation is for moving forward before any construction happens. And so overall, the boundary confirmation fee would be $2,000 and the topography survey is $4,200. So asking for approval to proceed in anticipation of future high school construction.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Crockett for the survey study, boundary confirmation, and topographical survey for a total of $6,200.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion second then to approve Crockett Engineering for the boundary confirmation topography survey for $6,200. Any questions, comments? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Up next would be the board goals update. Last week, we had a pretty cool work session, honestly, with Kevin Daniel, focused on what good teams bring to the table, characteristics of effective boards of education, and then just talking about what goals we would like to achieve as a board of education that would benefit our students and Southern Boone community. So overall, really appreciated that conversation and the input from everyone. We talked about the best teams, the best organizations have a we get to attitude versus a have to attitude. It's focused on trusting relationships, having transparent agendas, avoiding distractions from a vocal few, really focusing and having clarity on what our goals are, what our roles are, and that we're all here for a common purpose, that we're have spirited discourse. Sometimes we don't always have to agree on things, but we can have a healthy debate back and forth as long as we know that we're making decisions for the common good and for our students. We try to avoid passive and aggressive behaviors, and basically less is more versus more layered on top of more. So having those priorities and trying to stick to them. So right now, I'm just reading off of our notes from that meeting, and what we'll do is work with Matt and the administrative team to come up with the wording that we would like in a finished published document on what the board goals are for 23-24. But some of the highlights that we have from that meeting focus on utilizing the climate culture survey results and the CSIP goals that we just approved to help guide our decision making. We want to make sure that we provide opportunities for all students for academic and beyond. We want to focus on teamwork, team harmony, getting along and making informed decisions. We are going to review the criteria for the MSBA Governance Award and work towards that. We are going to represent the district with integrity and be visible at events as much as possible. And decide who's going to go to what in those, and just try to make sure that our stakeholders, parents, families, and our students see us in many different ways over the upcoming school year. We have a Board of Education that is always learning, looking forward to the future, looking at possibly doing a book study or looking at different articles that promote learning within our board, having more retreats like last night, or not last night, but last week in the evenings, so that people who work can attend. Looking into effective superintendent evaluation processes and providing ongoing feedback for the superintendent. We already have a leg up on this. Basically, the board would like to support and facilitate long-range facility planning. And so we've got that, we're already in that process and have things scheduled for the end of the month to help with that process. We're going to do an analysis and study of bond issues and how we can support the bonding capacity of our school district to help with our general operating funds, along with debt service and providing for new construction across the district. And then continue having the board candidate workshop and working with MSBA to collaborate on keeping board members informed and educated, whether they are new or veterans. Overall, we know that what we do is for the betterment of our community, and that we do hard things because they help serve our community, keep us organized, and make sure that we put our best foot forward in all situations. So just a few of the notes and things from last week. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add?
Good work session. Good
It was,
session.
yep, definitely. I thought so.
Enjoyed it.
And Kevin Daniel is always fun to work with and learn from. And he keeps things, I know, we're looking at a 3-hour meeting, and I was, you look at that 3 hours, like, whew, that's gonna be a long night. And then like he starts talking and we start talking and brainstorming ideas, and like the time just flies. So yeah, pretty cool. Kevin Daniel is also going to come and present to our staff during our big convocation, all-staff convocation on the first day back to school. He's helped us with our CSIP goals and planning, so he knows where we have been and where we want to go. He has been with our board now and helped us set goals and knows a little bit more about our organization there. And then he's going to be able to talk about, provide a meaningful, motivating speech on that first day back to school about talking about some of our CSIP goals and whatever our Everest is, helping climb that. So I think that'd be a good way to start our school year.
Okay, administrative reports.
Trent, Mr. Tracy is out coaching, and so his daughter had some kids, and as soon as he gets done with that, if we are still in session, he will be here. Yes.
Communication report.
I don't have anything else to share other than what was included.
Okay. Professional development plan.
So you received a copy of the plan. The only thing that was updated in that plan from last year was, of course, names and how that, everybody's positions in that. And then for the committee, and then also you received a copy tonight of the school calendar that we've tentatively set everything on. Of course, we can add and change as things change, but so you have a copy of that as well.
Oh, this is nice.
So that's Karen. That's Karen. I can't
You had a
take it.
chance. You had a chance.
I can't take credit for it. I can't do it. No, can't do it.
Well, whoever did it, it's nice.
Yep.
Yes.
This is being recorded. She would know. Yes. That and that PD plan, yeah, it's definitely a collaborative effort, and with the PDC committee and administrators and central office staff. And so, yes, it has a new look this year. And so we're pretty happy to share that information, and it will be added to our website very shortly. And I would say we probably need approval for the professional development plan.
I move that we accept the professional development plan as written.
Second.
Motion made and second then to approve the professional development plan as presented. Any further discussion or questions? Not all in favor?
Okay.
Opposed? So ordered. Open monthly update.
I don't have anything else other than what's in there.
Okay.
Thank you for your help with that in the dirt. I know that's a huge ordeal. It's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was
There's a lot of
awesome.
positive comments.
Appetizers were killer.
Very, very smooth this year. Everything was, it was hot.
Oh, gosh,
Really
yes.
hot, but it went really well.
It was hot for the people working. Those of us just sitting and enjoying. There was a nice breeze going, but
Was Lucas able to use the hamburger?
He did, yes.
How did-
I think it went well.
Okay,
He
good
did
deal.
text me after, he's like, we only got to use 8 of them. I'm like, are you kidding? Those burgers must be cursed, but he was wrong.
Awesome.
Okay, transportation update.
I'd like to introduce myself. I was looking up here, right? My name is Kyle Foreman. I'm the incoming, or I've already taken the CS Transportation Director. Really, the only thing I like to recognize is I attended the MAPT conference, Missouri Association of Pupil Transportation last week.
It's good stuff.
Very good training, met a lot of great people. We also, as Southern Boone Transportation, we received an award for 5 years in a row as 90% or higher for outstanding maintenance inspections, as well as school safety. And also, we also had a second award presented to us for 90% or higher on the state patrol inspection. So outstanding job, Dennis and those guys. So they did a great job. So I'm stepping into a great team already, and I'm looking forward to continuing to fight.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Have lots of barbecues. And anytime you do, invite the board.
Invite the board. Know that. Will do.
They're fun. They're always a good time. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's all.
That's a good report.
Yeah,
Also did
great.
Yes.
100% this year with that.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yep.
I don't know, do they do anything special for Dennis and all the team for something like that?
Well, you know, we had the end of the year barbecue and celebration, but you know, other than board recognition, that's about it right now. So, but yeah, we might have to do
Awesome.
something else. Matt had the e-newsletter and some social media posts, I'm sure coming up soon for sure. So, yeah. And I think Kyle and Ms. Jones are on day 10.
We
So
are on day 10.
They're in double digits now.
I don't see any bruises.
No, we're good so far.
Yes.
More gray hairs.
Character.
We appreciate you being here, and giving us a report.
Thank you.
Okay, any PTA or Learning Garden Athletic Booster Club updates? Instructional reports, perpetual calendar.
July.
No, nothing there. It's July. Yep.
Old business, a safe return to in-person instruction and continuity of the service plan.
Mhm. And so this, the safe return to in-person instruction is just a mandate that we have from federal government that as we receive federal funding, we have to keep this up to date through September 30th of this school year. So the changes, there were not very many changes in this from previous versions, only that it ends September 30th of 2023. So I would need approval on that though.
So the one attached says updated August, so then it would, because it says it updated 2022, so then the next one would say 2023.
I'll make sure you've got the most up-to-date version.
We have the one, it says in this one that it expires 2023.
September,
Mhm.
yes. I might need to change the cover page.
The cover page.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come October 1st, can we have a great big celebration and burn this puppy?
So you're saying that it's done and over? This?
Yeah.
I'm just saying the federal requirements are that
I mean, yeah, I'm not talking about the others, just, we don't have to have this anymore.
we do not have to have this anymore after September 30th. Yes. So,
Okay, entertain a motion then to approve the safe return to in-person instruction service plan.
I move we adopt the safe return to in-person instruction plan.
To adopt or renew.
Is it the same?
Yeah.
Exactly,
It,
except for the dates?
except for the dates, the only thing that changed were the
Probably
dates.
renew.
Renew an update. We have a motion then to approve renewal and update of the safe return in-person instruction continuity of service plan. Any further question, discussion?
I'll second.
Yeah. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Questions? Not all in favor? Opposed? So ordered. District Emergency Information Guide.
Hey, I think Matt's gonna talk about that.
So on the table in front of you, you have the full emergency information guide for the upcoming school year for the school district. This is a document that last year, the school district formed a district safety committee, included representation from different departments, different buildings throughout the school district. And so this was one of many topics that was discussed and also worked on really throughout much of last school year. And so if you kind of flip through the information, the first 4 pages will be public information that will be shared with parents and posted on the school district's website. So that's kind of public, very important information for the public to have that will be available on the school website. And so after you get past the first couple pages, then you have some other safety and security information that will be available and we'll have in all of our buildings, and make sure our teachers and staff have that information as well. And so you have important phone numbers of not only people, building administrators and other staff members in the school district, but also other emergency numbers as well. And then once you get into page 12, these are just kind of some templates of different scripts. That's, when it comes to safety and security, I think a lot of times people think of just, a couple things, but there are a variety of things that can happen throughout, the school day or even at the building. And so I think just trying to be as prepared as possible and having that communication, at least a template ready to go. So it's, if there's something that needs to be shared with parents in the community, we have a starting point. And so several of those pages are just kind of templates that we can use to kind of fill in the blanks and add information regarding different situations or circumstances that are happening in any of our buildings.
Were these supposed to be printed on front and back? Because like my page 6 starts at 9. And I don't
Yeah,
have
they
one
probably
through
were.
8.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it wasn't.
Okay.
That's what happens whenever I try to use the copier and
So
the
mine are all front.
ladies up front aren't there, so.
We got all front and back.
Yeah,
Oh, you have front and back?
No, I'm like you.
I
We
have,
got the teaser.
yeah, I'm gonna just,
Okay, so I think you two have front.
5.
Yeah, so that's what happens when Teresita and Missy aren't here to help me with
I understand. Those
the
can-
copiers.
those are confusing.
I'll
So,
send the email out and include the
Okay.
link. What we did on the board agenda, we just included the first 5 pages just because of keeping, some of the information private and, within the school district. So, and then there's also kind of different tips and advice for different things as well. So, I'll send that email, attach it and send it to the board. That way they have the entire document, not just half of it.
So in the past, we've had emergency procedures for like, if you're at a football game or like if something happens, do we still have like where to evacuate? Do we still have that as a written plan somewhere?
I will say that's something that Trent that he did last year. I mean, with big events like that, especially sporting events. And so, different plans where certain people are going to either take shelter or different things like that. So, yeah, that's something that has been, discussed and looked at as well. And so, and, when it comes to the district safety committee, we're going to continue to meet, this upcoming school year as well. I mean, it's one of those things where the work is never done. Going to continue to always improve things and work on things. Myself and Sharon Horton are attending the MSBA School Safety Seminar, 3 days next week in Jefferson City. So we're both going to be attending that. And so once the school year starts, I think we met at least quarterly, if not more, throughout last school year. So it was a good committee and a lot of good voices and from counselors to building administrators, transportation, and so a lot of people involved.
MSBA has a crisis planning document or program. Whatever you can do to study that, it'd be great if we can embrace that at some point down the line. But
I think I've seen a little bit about it. Yeah.
I think that's going to be more of a full-time position, or it's going to take a lot to pull that together because the detail is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it is a really good tool. It's a good product.
I think I've seen something about that. So.
has the committee, does everyone have a shared definition of an emergency, a threat? Is everyone on the same page as to what is considered each thing?
So this page number 2, which I think you received,
Yeah,
that does help us determine which,
well, that helps you determine the response,
Mhm.
but what is an emergency?
mhm.
does everyone have kind of the same opinion of that?
I think that with our admin team, we talk about that and what the information that we have, then what determines the level of response that we have. And so we anticipate utilizing this tool as well in our responses, basically. And typically, when things are happening, depends on how fast things are happening,
Right,
how fast we communicate with each other and make team decisions, yes.
so then. Is there enough?
Oftentimes, it's up to the administrator at the site, yes.
Okay,
to
and so
determine.
that's what my question, I guess, though, is that, I mean, a team response is great, but sometimes there is, in a true emergency, it's gonna be an individual.
Right,
And so have we identified, like,
all the information flows to the administrators of the building. And they have people that if they're not present or not able to handle that information, then they have backup.
Right.
People that,
so just from like my risk manager training, what you consider an emergency, I may not consider an emergency. So if an individual gets to make that decision, then someone may make a difference. So I'm just saying, like, have we discussed like a table, like, these are actual true emergencies, these are threats. So there is no question, like, you have it like a one pager. If this is happening, this is an emergency. This is something you can get feedback. This is, I don't know.
I would say overall, we talk about that, those scenarios with administrators. I'm not sure there's a one pager per se. But yeah, we can look into that.
Or the person that's by the phone that would make the call, just the person that, is gonna be the one that says, okay, this is it, we gotta get 911, we gotta do something.
Mhm.
Are they gonna feel like empowered enough to make that decision? And know that, okay, someone's gonna agree with me, this is an emergency.
Yes. Well, we've got principals right behind you. So do you guys feel like you have enough information and power to make decisions in those situations?
Because I know, like, at the university, sometimes that happens, like, just someone who maybe is in a city with a larger school district who went to school, and they're like, this happens, it's not an emergency, whereas someone else, So, just wondering. Thank you.
And I would say as situations come up, we do those conversations afterwards about how we would, do we feel like our response was appropriate? And then also, will we change anything in the future? And so that keeps that conversation fluid and live as we go through the year. So it kind of brings things back up on how we do handle things and if we need to change any of our procedures. So.
Okay. Does the administrators over here have anything to say tonight? You have any reports, questions, comments?
No, we think Tim made a great point about making sure you can get over to the football field before they start.
Yeah.
So we want to get you that.
So do we need to adopt this?
This one's just for your information.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just from one day to the next, the difference
Oh, I know, it's cool.
going on over there. We go over every morning. Yeah. Well, I don't have a choice. They got to run a club, 7 a.m. Those coaches, they have to give you a break.
Teasing Trent, I was over there the first day they put the first big piece of steel in the air. And I happened to run into Trent. I said, Trent, we're gonna be able to see at the primary building and watch and see what the score is.
That sounds great.
No kidding. Yes.
Gigantic stuff.
The scoreboard looks like it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be huge. Yeah.
Yep.
It's bigger than Blair Oaks. That's all I gotta say.
There you go. Yep. And I was hoping Trent would be here by now, but so he could talk about just the sponsorships and things that are going on with that scoreboard. And so he's been sharing that information with the Chamber of Commerce, and he's been out going door to door, business to business, just sharing information. So if you know a business and they haven't heard from Trent, if you let him or me know, then we'll make sure we get the word out. And
They're gonna
get
go
information. So
fast.
I think his email went to all the chamber.
today, yes.
Today.
Mhm, yep. And he made a presentation to the chamber last Thursday. So
Thursday morning.
So very good. And since he's not here to talk about dual sports, then that will be, he can talk about that at the next board meeting as well.
Okay.
So, sounds good.
So proposed agenda items for next month is certification of the levy and tax rate hearing, approval of the tuition rates, transportation route approval guidelines, state transportation aid, curriculum plan, technology report, summer school program report, or anything else need to be added?
I'm sure we'll have some additions along the way, but Jeff, that's our plan for now, yes.
And do we need to go into executive session?
We can, it'll be a very short one, yes.
Okay. Since I'm here,
I was saying, you make the. yes,
I would
yes,
entertain a motion to go into executive session subject to section 610.021 subsection 1, 3, and 13.
Second.
I make the motion
You
that
make
you
the
just
motion,
said.
okay.
Yeah.
And you second it?
I'll second it. I want to hear her say all the numbers though.
Yeah, 6.610.0. No, yep,
Yep,
what
that's
I
their
said, what you
stuff.
said, yeah.
Okay, Tamara,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Yes.
and yes here. So we're now in executive session. Thank everybody for coming out tonight.
Embarrassing charge from now on.
No kidding, there you go, yes.
7:20, 15.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight, appreciate it.